I don't have my slides up.
Good afternoon. My name is Dennis, and I'll be your moderator for today's event. Do You Even Network? The goal of today is to inform students of what it means to have a diverse network, why it's beneficial, and how to actually build one. I'm excited to be here today with Amor Montes De Oca and Alexandra Medina. Can you both introduce yourselves?
Yes. 1 second. Hi, how are you? I am Amor Montes De Oca. I am Executive Director at Illinois Women in Cannabis. I'm super excited to be here with you today.
Hi, everyone. My name is Alexandra Medina. I am a Software Engineering Associate at Accenture, and thank you, Dennis, for inviting us here all today.
And my name is Dennis, and I'm a student at Wilbur Wright College, and I'll be the moderator for this event. So the person that will be going first, just excuse us while we have just a minor technical difficulty. So Amor, I sent you your slides,
okay.
So just read your email. And she'll be going first and explaining about what it means to build a diverse network.
Okay, give me 30 seconds to get there. I'm sorry, why don't we just go ahead? Alexandra, do you mind? I'm not getting that email just now. Thanks.
Yeah, not a problem. Okay. So, first of all, I am also a student at Wilbur Wright College with Dennis, and I also work at Accenture, and I got that job through Wright College, and I credit all that to Wright. And so I wanted to start off with tips for networking in a virtual world. I like to say I like to maintain a polished virtual me, and that consists of consistently staying up to date with my resume, with my LinkedIn profile. That goes as far as my picture on my LinkedIn profile, my bio, things that I'm involved in. And then the second thing about networking in a virtual world is getting to know your network beyond someone's name and beyond someone's work title. Never be afraid to ask questions, and don't be afraid to ask for help or reach out. I know when I was 18, 19, I was so scared of networking. I kind of disliked the term networking and what it appeared to me at the time. And then, of course, through experience and as I got older, I realized how important the connections you make with people around you really are. And I would like to give a couple more tips for networking. Turn your webcam on whenever possible, whenever you can. And this, for me, just creates a more impactful experience. I feel closer to the person that I'm talking to. And the thing about building these mutual and beneficial relationships is that I'm not going to go out and look for only people who can give me something. I also want to contribute back to them. How can I help them? Is there something that they need help with? Right? So it's a give and a take. And above all, it's quality over quantity. So it's not how many people do I have in my network. It's about the quality of those relationships that I build. And that's what I like to focus on. And a couple prompts to help yourself find people to network with is sit down and ask yourself, okay, what do I want? Who can help me attain that? And even a step further with that is, who do I look up to? Are there people in your lives that you look up to and that you admire or that you aspire to be like, or who have what you have, or who have a job that you potentially want to have one day? My mentor right now, actually, I attended a coding boot camp with the Northwestern School of Professional Studies, And my mentor right now was my boot camp instructor. And I admired him from day one. And literally, this past August, I messaged him on LinkedIn, and I just straight out asked him, would you be open to mentoring me? And it's as simple as that. And then we set up a Zoom conversation and a date and time, and then we really went from there. So it can just be as simple as asking the question. It may seem scary, but people really do want to help you. And then competency. Do I know what I'm talking about? Have I done my research? So if you don't really know the person that well, take a look at their LinkedIn profile, see what jobs they had in the past. Maybe you could ask them and that's a way to get to know them further and get to know their story and how they got to where they are, right? That's what I'm doing here. I'm trying to share a little bit of my story to let you guys know how I got to where I am today. And it's really through people, because certainly I have my own champion professor at Wilbur Wright College. His name is Professor Gustavo Alada. And when I say he's my champion, he is my champion. And I didn't ask, oh, hey, can you be my champion? I just consistently I would show up to class. I would engage in conversation with him. I would get to know what he was involved in, and I would ask if I could be involved in the clubs that he had going on. Just simple conversation can go a long way. And humility, again, give more than you ask for. And keep in contact with your network. Don't only reach out to them when you need something from them, right? Even if it's just to check in and say, how are you doing? Especially right now during these times. And then persistence. Get comfortable with hearing the word no. Get comfortable if you're job searching. Get comfortable with hearing the word no. Because when you fall 1,000 times, it's that 1,001 time that ends up working out. Or like me, staying persistent through my journey is really the key to it all. From high school, I went to a college. I dropped out 1 month later because I didn't know what I wanted to do. And then I ended up enrolling at Wilbur Wright. And now the place I am at today at Accenture, I couldn't have even dreamt of it. If you were to ask me 3 years ago, if I were to be in where I am today, I wouldn't have believed you. And really, excellence is a habit. I heard that quote recently, and it's so true. I used to be a straight B/C student in high school, and throughout my past 3 semesters, I brought up my GPA 5 points. That's not because I'm intellectually just born smart. It's because I've worked hard. I've implemented habit after habit. I take suggestions from my own mentor to build in habits that are going to set me up for success. And that's how I brought up my GPA 5 points in the past 3 semesters. Excellence is a habit. And it's not about being extreme. It's just about consistently maintaining your habits and your daily rituals and your daily routines. And that is all I have for you guys today.
Thank you. That was Alexandra Medina. Next is Amor.
That was amazing, Alexandra. I am trying. All right. I don't know why I don't have this button.
Do you have the share?
I have it. 1 second. Yep. Here. Nope. It just doesn't go to the right tab. I'm sorry, guys. Thank you for your patience.
I'll share your slide and then I'll just
Please, that would, yes, I appreciate that. Thank you. Teamwork, I appreciate that. Thank you, guys. Thanks. Well, after a tiny bit of technical difficulties, we're going to get started. I just want to take a moment, a brief pause to thank you for the invitation. I'm so excited to be here and to share a few tips of what has worked for me in building my network and why I value my network so much. I am super excited. My name is Amor Montes De Oca. I am Illinois Women in Cannabis's first executive director. And I certainly could not have gotten to that point without building on a network throughout over the past 20 years. Next slide, please. Today, I want to share with you a little bit about my career and how I leveraged my network and what I was able to accomplish with my network. I'll spend a few minutes talking about how to start, grow, and cultivate your network. I'll make some suggestions on what to expect. We'll review, and then I'll just take some questions at the end. Next, please. Well, let me start by asking you to type in the chat, why did you decide to join this session today? What about networking attracted you to this? Are you looking to connect with someone? Are you looking for a specific specialty? Are you looking just to meet new people, interested in entrepreneurship and all of those things? If you don't mind, that would be amazing. Let me go ahead and advance, Dennis. Thank you. Obviously, there are many reasons why a network is important as part of our careers and business relations. It keeps us, well, for me specifically, it has not only provided me with fresh ideas when I'm working on something, when I'm thinking about something new, when I want to learn something new, it provides, the most important thing, potential for long-lasting relationships, as well as a totally different perspective that you might not have considered. And why this is important, especially for entrepreneurship and innovation and startup, is because then you get to consider points of views if you are developing an app, that you may not have considered, because you can only apply your own experience to your perspective. So having a diverse network can be a game changer for your business, for your career, for an app that you're developing, for a product that you're developing, because it provides you with answers that you might not have to go research. You can tap into your network for that nuance, insight, and expertise that is incredibly valuable for so many reasons. Go ahead and advance the slide, Dennis. Thank you. Over the past 15 years, I've had the fortune of zigzagging and building my career. I started as a receptionist a long time ago, zigzagging my way through corporate America and meeting all sorts of people, from poets, musicians, producers, editors, writers, technologists, investors, all kinds of people that have provided me with an area of expertise that allows me to provide value to my own network. I continue to expand my circle, and that provides me with opportunities that I would not have planned for my own self. My network has provided me with invaluable and unforgettable experiences. Go ahead and advance. Like I said, from sports to immersive technology, gaming, dancing, all sorts of things, your network can be the key to opening a door and helping you learn about an industry that connects to no matter what industry you are active in. Go ahead and advance, Dennis. Thank you. So like I said, throughout my jobs, I've had the fortune of connecting with all sorts of people, and being part of a network, obviously, is a two-way street. You have to give and take. And while, my network has provided me with plenty of opportunities that I treasure and will never forget, I also value the opportunity to amplify and support the work of others by being active in my network. I bring value to my network by supporting the work of others, by helping develop, by lending my expertise or even my perspective or the expertise of my network to advance others' work, careers, or businesses along the way. That has proven to me invaluable throughout my career and has enabled me to be effective as I have continued to develop my career. Next slide, please. So let me give you some tips on how to start. And I know you guys are already doing it. You're participating in events like this that amplify, that expand your circle immediately. Everyone that's participated in this industry, in this event, has something in common with you. We're all interested in entrepreneurship. We're all interested in celebrating students' efforts, and there are so many ways to connect. So the very first thing, just to also build on things that Alexandra mentioned in her presentation, start with your why. Be intentional about the steps. Why are you looking to, what skills do you need to build, continue to build your areas of expertise? That will help you guide your steps into who you need to connect. How is it, when you look at connecting with someone, think about how is this person your network, or how can this person be influential in your career or business development? There must be something that the intention must be clear, so that you know what to expect and how to go about it. Again, something else that Alexandra mentioned is networking is not about how many connections you have. Actually, it's about building relationships. And obviously that takes time and effort, and a lot of listening, a lot of active participation to get to know this person, to walk away with a true meaningful relationship. Remember that you're not walking away with a job or a lead. You are networking to connect with someone that has something in common with you, or nothing at all, that could help you learn and expand your knowledge base. Next slide, please. Some tips to help you be effective, especially virtually. Work on your introductions. Say we get onto networking right here and you have 1 minute to introduce yourself. How can you best say what you're about and what your goals are in a few sentences, so that you make the best time, the best of your time available. Keep your resume updated. You never know when you're gonna need it, especially if you're actively networking. You can have an introduction within an hour, but if you're not ready to take action, you may lose that momentum. And it doesn't reflect that great on you if you're asking for recommendations and you're not ready to take action, right? Take time to update your resume, your profile. Take time to figure out what it is that you want your next step to be. Be open to suggestions and to other opportunities that you might not have considered. More than anything, make time for the whole process. Next slide, please. Real quick ways to expand your network really quickly is, we're right here right now. You've just have the opportunity to connect with a bunch of other people. You can ask, obviously, we all have, our inner circle can be great starters in helping us connect with people within their networks. You can ask your instructors. You can definitely reach out to people that you're interested in on LinkedIn and other things. And once again, something else that Alexandra mentioned is not about volume. It's definitely about quality. Consider that it takes time and effort to build a relationship. So if you go, link up with 20 people, those are 20 messages that need to be genuine to move forward to the next stage. So make sure that you are thoughtful in your reach, in your outreach. Go ahead. So, you've heard this all before, but it never gets old. Relationship is about connecting with someone. You're not going to walk away with a job, and you're not going to walk away with a lead. That's going to take a little time, and it may come if if your networking isn't performed, if your networking and that relationship has grown organically and you have brought value to that relationship, those doors will open. I do believe that wholeheartedly. Your goal in networking is to meet valuable people that can have an influence in your career or in your business. Hopefully that helps the approaching. Networking is intimidating, especially for shy people, and I am. So when you take that, that pressure away of like, okay, I'm here to network, there's 30 people, I need a job, I'm gonna walk away with a job, it removes that pressure of that hard sell, right? And it helps you just connect with someone in a more organic, more genuine manner. Next slide, please. So when you reach out to someone, when you are connecting with someone, be a great host. Someone is making time to meet with you. If you ask for 15 minutes or 30 minutes of someone's time, please don't spend that time asking them to tell you what you could have found online. Take the time, use that time to ask things that you cannot find online, to ask more personal questions. What were their challenges? What is that, how do they spend their day? Is this a job that you're interested or curious about? Use that opportunity if you're seeking work, if you're looking to expand your career opportunities, use that opportunity as if you were kind of like introducing yourself to a potential employer. Do your homework. As Alexandra said, prepare for that relationship, prepare for that connection so that you can both walk away happy to have connected with someone else. Be attentive, take notes, and most important of all, follow up. At the very least, take the time to send a thank you note. If you took notes and you were actively listening, your thank you note will be meaningful because you'll be able to insert something that was brought up during the conversation that was new to you or that you were not expecting, and that will go a long way in impressing someone and keeping you on top of mind for their network and for whatever opportunities they come around. Your networking speaks in many other ways other than just that brief moment that you're going to have with someone. Next slide, please. So this is important. Alexandra also mentioned this. You have to participate. You have to lend your expertise. You have to bring it. You have to bring your own perspective, your value. You have to be involved in order to get something meaningful and valuable out of that networking experience. When you get involved, when you volunteer, you have the opportunity to work alongside people that you normally would not have, and to learn insights that you would not have gotten. It's definitely a worthwhile experience and opportunity to quickly build meaningful connections to build upon. If you have the time or the expertise, when you reach out to someone on LinkedIn, if you know how to build websites and this person's website needs a little bit updating, you can say, hey, I don't know, I can refresh your website if that, I don't know, something that you feel you can contribute to help that person advance. When you offer, it's never needed, but it goes a long way. Again, to be thoughtful of the other person, helping to enrich your network. Next slide, please. So what to expect? Not every relationship is going to be long lasting. Not every relationship you'll see results right away. Relationships are unexpected and surprising in many ways. I was recently at a mentoring session in a breakout room, and in my breakout room there was someone I worked with 20 years ago, and it was amazing to when you are in such a fluid and dynamic industry like innovation entrepreneurship, you're bound to reconnect and with professors, once again, going back to the very first circle that you started building upon. So take care of your network, value your network. It's an ebb and flow. As you grow in your career or in your business endeavors, you will find value in some of these experiences at some points, unexpectedly. Again, relationships can be game-changing for your career or for your profession. It also shouldn't feel like networking. If you are genuine about your approach and your why you're building this network and why you're participating in this network, it won't feel like networking. It'll feel like something you enjoy doing. That's how it should feel. And if that's your and you approach it that way, in a more genuine way, I think it'll feel less intimidating. Go ahead. So, lots of words, lots of actions. To summarize, my number one thing, focus on building the relationship. Obviously, you'll have to step out of your comfort zone, and you'll have to figure out why you're doing the networking, why you're reaching out to this person specifically, or why you think this person can be influential in what you're building or trying to build. Next slide, please. Approach networking as if it were part of your personal or professional growth. Your network enriches you, enriches your perspective, expands your knowledge base, your opportunities. So get comfortable. Go ahead. That's all I have for you guys. I am happy to take any questions that you may have, share my experiences with you if you find them helpful. I've enjoyed sharing this with you, and I hope that you have at least, if you can walk away with one tip that could help you be more effective or more comfortable networking, I would find this to be a success. I hope this is helpful.
And thank you to our speakers, Alexandra and Amor. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask in the chat, or if you want to say it personally and ask anyone else, you can share your video if you want to ask it, personally. So
awesome. Well, I see some great comments on the chat. Some people, looking to connect, graduating soon, wanting to for information on how to improve networking. I hope that you have found this valuable. Natalie, always open to networking tips. I mean, all of us are here to expand our networks. I'm going to type my LinkedIn profile. You're welcome to reach out to me if you have specific questions. More than happy to connect with you and be of any help.
I will do the same. And Amor is right. Even and I imagine Amor, we are still in our transitions of networking. I think we will forever be trying to network and build connections and relationships with others.
100%. Think about how useful, your network has been through this pandemic. You have been able to operate and keep moving forward. So your network is key. It's essential. Take care of it.
Yeah, I think I've networked better online than I did personally because, you don't have to travel anywhere, but you can just click on a link or a Zoom and talk from there. So that's what I found really helpful.
Yeah. I am very shy, and so being virtual has helped me a little bit. But I think the most useful thing was to just get my intro kind of solid, so that when I'm in situations like this virtually, I can quickly share who I am.
Yeah, it's been helpful for people that are like kind of introverted and shy, like you said, like I am. So it's better.
It's not easy, but keep working on it. You'll find that most of us are shy and uncomfortable about networking, and that's why it's important to be genuine and straightforward about why you're reaching out to people, so that awkwardness goes away for both, so that it's not intimidating. I don't have to over prepare. I know that we're just going to have a conversation, and that you're interested about this or that, or you're curious about immersive tech or this other thing, and it's a conversation between two people. It doesn't have to be so awkward. Oh, here's a question. What are different ways that you use to grow your network other than LinkedIn, university work, etc.? Alexandra, you want to share?
Yeah. I personally, again, I referenced quality over quantity, and I personally have a sponsor. I sponsor another woman. I have a mentor. I have a therapist. I have friends. I have family. And I just try and utilize and make the most of all of my relationships that I can. But most of my network does come from either school or people in my neighborhood, and doing community events like this and outreach is another great way to contact with the organizers of different events.
Yeah. For me, volunteering, it really has been the most helpful. Just getting involved with a project, helping. Hackathons are great ways to connect with all sorts of people with all different types of specialty areas and areas of expertise. If you're looking for, especially for a career or business opportunities, hackathons are great because they're collaborative. You're there to work on a project, not to network, but it's just a little bit different. What else has worked? Obviously, LinkedIn is super important because that's everybody's first point of reference. When you reach out to someone, they're going to go to your LinkedIn to kind of get a better idea, a better context of who you are, to frame what the conversation is about, to have a point of reference. So your LinkedIn is going to definitely be super important, especially virtually.
The main thing is just to get, whether that be in a club or an outside community volunteering organization, get involved and get to know the people there.
100%. Here are 2 tips Natalie is sharing. Networking is not meeting a new best friend or asking for a job. Yep. The time frame of networking paying off is at least 6 months and usually a year. Yeah, it's a long game. Like I said, it's take time and effort, and you have to bring value to that relationship in order for that relationship to grow. Find useful things. If that person is into, filmmaking, and you see a grant available for filmmakers, that's something that might resonate for them and for their network. So you're providing them with something that they can then bring to their network and continue to be an active and bring value to all of us. And Rob is sharing that industry events were huge for him. Yep. Yeah.
Follow up with even Rob's question and all of them.
Yeah.
There's another question. Any tip how to give effective introductions and make that lasting relationship? Amor, do you want to touch on that? Kind of brought it up in your presentation.
Sure, I'd be happy to. I don't see that question, but I'm so glad we didn't miss it. It's so important. Obviously, we have gone through so many challenges. A lot of us are looking for work, new school, new things. We're trying to navigate through new platforms. So when you ask for an introduction, make it easy for that person to make that introduction. Tell them why you want, how this connection is going to help you, or what you hope to get out of that connection, because then that person making that introduction doesn't have to double think or carve out time to make that happen. You can make that happen for yourself quicker if you help that person help you, if you get what I mean. If you draft, a quick summary. Hi, Alexandra, I would like you to, if you have time, I'd love to meet Dennis because he was involved with Chicago Startup Week, and I would love to chat with him about, logistics. And so now Alexandra knows exactly what I'm hoping to get out of it. And it's an easy, hey, Dennis, Amor is looking for help with running a hop-in on how to share her screen. Can you help her? And that made it easy for her. What else? Obviously thinking, following up. I cannot stress this enough. If someone introduces you to someone, obviously take the time to thank that person for that introduction. If you do meet with that introduction, if they made suggestions, even if you don't take action on those suggestions, because, at the end of the day, it's your concept, your decision, that's still a valuable insight that helped you make a more informed decision no matter what. So I would always circle back with that mentor, with that relationship, with that connection, and say, that tip that you gave me about this was very helpful. I really appreciate it. Help me find this other thing, and once again, this person value the fact that you value their time because you've taken action. You can see results from that. So I definitely encourage you to take that seriously.
And I think too, being a little bit, not overly sharing your personal information, but just being a little bit vulnerable, like with my mentor, for example. One time, one of our conversations looked kind of like this. I said to him, hey, Mark, I'm struggling with time management. What's your experience with time management, and how do you incorporate valuable skills into your days? And he gave me the advice of implementing the Pomodoro technique. And if you don't know what that is, it's you schedule 25 and 5-minute blocks. So for 25 minutes, I'm going to focus on my homework. I'm going to put my phone away. And then for 5 minutes, I get a break. I can look on my phone. I can read a book, other stuff like that. And then the cycle repeats. So if you're wondering about anything, really, you could just send a message to Amor and say, I've been struggling with breaking out of my shell and I feel nervous to network. What's your experience? And then that's an example of give and take.
Yeah. In your networking, people will start to kind of take roles, right? Some people will be people that you can tap into real quick and real casually that can kind of guide you real quick. And some are more serious, and more impactful. I see how to connect with global industrial leaders to present in front of them regarding my startup. Continue to be involved in things like this. You're going to connect. You never know who's in these rooms, physical or virtual. I attend a lot of seminars, workshops, and things because I'm constantly learning. If you're looking to connect with global industrial leaders to develop your device, look for events that are bound to have people like that. They're not going to be your regular events. They the state's state of the industry address on the health matters. It's not going to be. Just be creative about where do you find these people to connect with. Ask for introductions. Again, you are an innovation ecosystem right here. Surely someone will read this message and be like, oh, I know someone, right? You see this message, you know someone, hey, I know someone that you can connect with, right? It's kind of connecting dots.
That question, Alexander asked, what if you were trying to network, kind of made it awkward? How do you come back from that?
That's such a great question. Are you asking me? Oh, well.
Yeah, I'm going to give it to you first.
All right. I think that if I were in an awkward situation, I would just pause for a second. You're genuine. You be yourself. What made it awkward? Backtrack. Let me rephrase that. Let me start over. I was nervous. Thank you for easing my mind on that. I mean, recognize sometimes, it just be graceful as much as you can. Be thankful. It's awkward. Uh, I don't have a good comeback for that. It's just do the best you can. We're all human. Sometimes we're gonna say things that we wish we had not, or could have said better. But always, if it didn't come out right, just retract it. Say, I didn't mean for it to come out that way. Let me start over. There's nothing wrong with that, I think.
Yeah. I like that you said we're all human. Every interaction's, if you can, laugh at it in the moment. And what I referenced in my presentation, just be persistent. Don't give up. Just because you had one awkward conversation doesn't mean that the rest of your conversations will be awkward. Even if you have time, you can, and you're an overthinker like I am, maybe do a meditation, a self-loving meditation, and you know what? Just accept that, okay, that was awkward, but next time it might not be, and then try again.
Hey, you know what? There's nothing wrong with scheduling another. Hey, that, I wasn't prepared. It didn't go in the right way. I'd love the opportunity to reconnect with you. There's always as long as you don't burn the bridge, just be polite, I suppose.
That Natalie mentioned opened up to me after I made a mistake. Totally, I 100% agree with that. And paired with that too, I have learned from all of my mistakes. So if I do make a mistake now, I can learn from it and hopefully not repeat it again.
All those lessons learned.
Yeah, like for me, sometimes I don't necessarily have the right words on the top of my head when I meet somebody, but when I think about it, I just realize that they're human and that I'm human and that they've probably made a mistake in their life too. And so I think I try not to overthink that.
You never know what's also going on with the other person, maybe they're shy too, or not great talkers. Sometimes it doesn't work, but if you know your why, you're gonna, prepare some talking points ahead of time so that if you get stuck with like this awkward silence of like, then talk about the weather. Start with the weather. Who couldn't talk about the weather? How was your day today? Start with simple things. It doesn't have to be, again, you're not walking away with a job. You're not walking away with a deal. You're walking away with a connection.
Bob gave the suggestion, taking a video of yourself at home and practicing intros and rebuttals is helpful to calm the nerves and to be better prepared. I've never done that, but I will never say no to an opportunity to grow.
100%. Always be learning. Always be learning. And, networking is a great opportunity to learn. It helps you, like I said, use it to grow personally, your personal and your professional career. Any other questions? Oh, the awkward silence. Yes, that's awkward. It doesn't have to be awkward. It's okay. Just.
It's normal.
It takes time, to think of a word, or, a sentence. It's all right. We all struggle with networking. It's a work in progress, no matter what. As part of my job, I did a lot of networking. That was, at the core of my job. And it doesn't get easier. I just got more, I realized that, I was building relationships, not businesses. You know what I'm saying? And that
Yeah, it
helped me.
sounds like
That
you
helped
were
me.
being comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah, definitely. Mentors are invaluable. Mentors are invaluable. And let me stress one more thing here. All of us have a value to bring to our network. It doesn't matter if you're a student, if you don't have a whole lot of connections or anything, your perspective is what's valuable. Your own individual perspective and experiences is what people value in your network. If you know, if you speak another language, if you are savvy with technology, you also bring value, perspective, and you too can be a mentor to someone else. You know, if you guys are in college, you can look at high schoolers, etc., etc. Mentors are critical. I did not have a mentor growing up and throughout my career, so I am an avid mentor right now. I'm mentoring formally two mentees, but I have informal mentees, tons of them. I love mentoring, especially because I didn't have one. I feel that mentors have a crucial role in helping us build more solid careers, you know, help us guide our steps with a little bit more purpose. I would encourage you to mentor, seek mentorship, be a mentor, learn about mentorship. It's invaluable actually.
Totally. And in regards to a mentor who can guide you in your specific field that you're looking to get into, if you're in your network right now, if you know anyone who knows someone else, maybe you could ask for an introduction. If you don't know someone who knows another person that's in the field that you want to get into, attend networking sessions just like these, because maybe you will have a speaker who says, I am available for mentoring, just like Amor just did. And if that person is someone who is in your field, then that's your perfect way to ask, hey, I'm looking to find a mentor. Are you open to mentoring? And just like I did with my mentor, I just asked him, would you be open to mentoring me? And he said yes, without hesitation.
Especially if you're a student, if you reach out to anyone as a student, I would have a hard time believing that someone would say no to an introduction, to a chat with you, to, you know, learn about their field. As a student, you have almost unlimited opportunities to reach out to anyone, but you can't say you're a student or recent grad too long, right? Use that quickly to build your network. Let's see, Ben, how do I go back? Okay. I love this question. Ben is asking, how does he reconnect with someone to let them know about the updates on his skills and his qualifications? And that's a great opportunity to reconnect, just like that. I would, especially this person that you want to update can have influence in your career. I would definitely encourage you to do that. Just reach out and say, hey, I wanted to reconnect, really. I mean, just, again, be genuine, be straightforward. Tell them why you want to reconnect. I wanted to share with you, you know, that over the past 6 months, I have learned this, and that, and found them to be useful in this. I'm working on this. I'm using these new skills to build this, or I'm trying to use these skills to move toward that. I'd appreciate your feedback. I'd appreciate if you could make some time to chat with me so that I can go into more detail. I think that all of us would be so happy to hear from a former connection and get an update, especially if we in any way had any point along that trajectory. Does that answer your question, Ben?
Ben.
Okay, hang on one second. Let me read this. Okay, so this is a team, a technical team. It takes capital to grow a startup, obviously, and you need capital to get the areas of expertise that you need to build this business. If you, the least expensive way that I could suggest is, again, hackathons. Participate in hackathons, pitch your concept. I have hosted hackathons in the past. I know Techstars does this all the time. I know there's one that's connected to the Startup Week as well. It's a great opportunity to recruit people into your project, join meetups. Just put it out there. I am working on this and I'm looking for these skills. You could look into funding agreements, sharing your startup with your potential team members, etc. There's many ways to attract a team, expand the team through networking. I hope that's helpful. I don't know if, Alexandra, you have other tips.
No, I am not afraid to know when I don't have the experience to give my input, and I am not a founder of a startup, so I cannot speak.
Startup Week is great. Pitch your little heart out all the time. Every opportunity you have. Networking events like this are super helpful. Get your intro ready. I am building a startup that does this, and I'm here because I'm looking for a technologist to help me build the backend or the database or the user experience, whatever it is. Build that into your intro and go participate in things, and you will, hey, I'm looking for a project, or it'll happen, but you have to say it.
Well, thank you guys for the questions.
Awesome. Lots of questions. Yes.
Yeah. I agree, Rob, with advisors are critical to the success for a startup, because I think from like if you have a startup, right, a lot of people are more on the developing side, but I think it's good to have someone that shares knowledge and knows something that you might not know for the sake of your company.
My pleasure. I have enjoyed myself so much. I wish you the best of luck. Have fun networking. It's not tough. And reach out if I can be of any help.
And for the final thing, we just want to, get to know where you're from. So in the chat, I have attached a little poll. So scan this code or click on the link and just answer the prompt question.
I want to share with everyone a real quick tip, anecdote. Dennis was a mentee of mine a few years ago, back in 2018. So, once again, connections come back. You never know. I'm so excited to have reconnected with Dennis and to work on this presentation. It's been an amazing experience to share this with all of you. It's great to meet you, Alexandra, as well. And I appreciate everybody's questions. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thanks, Dennis.
Thank you. Thank you guys for coming out. These are just some of the answers that we've gotten. I dropped the link below if you want to say where you're from. We got Natalie from Hallinger Life. I hope I didn't butcher your last name. Doing applied social psychology. And her LinkedIn is there if you want to add her.
That's great.
We'll be wrapping up in like a couple minutes.
Dennis, which key takeaway do you think you're going to start implementing as far as networking goes?
I think getting to know the person more. I think a lot sometimes when networking, you focus a lot on business side and getting something out of it. But at the end of the day, I think it's good just to have somebody to talk to, even when you need help. So that's something I would take out of it. And I just learned that they're just normal people. So, and eventually they'll help you if you start building up that connection. So that's something I would take out of it.
That answer. And how Dennis paired with you as a mentee, Amor?
Oh, it was a fun experience. Dennis, you want to say?
Yeah, so in high school, I had a computer teacher, and he introduced me to, I forgot, one summer Chicago, something like that.
Yeah, that's right.
And he was like bringing up all these different types of jobs that you can do. So the first time I applied to Lurie's Hospital, and I didn't get that one. And then he introduced me to 2112, and he talked to me a little bit about it. So I was interested, and I went in for the interview with Amor, and that's when I first met her. And yeah, that's how it happened. And the rest, I really liked it. I think it was nice to see different people, especially like people that were much older than me, and I got to know them, some of them. So yeah, because I never had worked in the work experience like that besides working with like students my age. So that's what I found really new to me about it.
I really think mentorship and internships are super important. It gives you an opportunity to see what that's like, or see things that you might not have realized. So Dennis and I worked on an app over one summer, they did, and we collaborated, right, Dennis?
Yeah.
So we met in 2018. So, once again, we're part of our network and we collaborate.
That's amazing.
But thank you guys so much for coming to this event. We hope you liked it, and we'll hope to see you in other events this week. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Thanks.
Bye.
Ciao. Thanks, Dennis. Nice to meet you, Alexandra.
You too, Amor.
Ciao, guys.